What they said.
Coming up on today's show, Naomi gives her views on why it's so important to keep the romance alive in Naomi's Wifey Lifey.
In Lou's dating diary, you're going to share it with us on the importance of keeping accurate online dating profiles.
And we ask the big question of the week. Has dating apps killed the effort we used to make when meeting a partner?
In Star-Crossed Lovers, we'll actually give a wrap-up on the water sign.
And we also get to meet our next perfect match couple. All that and more in today's show.
Let's get started. It's that time of week again, Lou.
I know, and I'm so happy to be here with you, my work wife. And
You are the best work wife.
and you're the best work wife too. Look at the love that's in this room right about now.
It's always when I'm thinking of something, you've already said, I've done it.
And you keep me sane and grounded, and trust me, that takes a lot. And look, we've got another jammed-packed episode for you, so yes, stay tuned, grab a cuppa, grab a glass of wine, we know, and yeah.
Or a couple of beers.
Or a couple of beers, and come along for the journey.
Wifey Lifey.
This week, I'm going to talk about romance in relationships.
So you're going to go, let's get it on. Yeah, boom, chicka, pow, pow. Yeah, so romance,
Yes. Flowers.
Love.
Well, you know, the thing is, my current partner,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that because
He's here, yeah.
he's here and in the room, but
really, she's not.
but I do get just because flowers.
Yeah, what, you get flowers?
I do get flowers.
Oh, that's nice.
But it's just because, not even a reason. We didn't
Yeah.
even have a fight.
Okay, so not
And-
because he's left the toilet seat up, or he was late for a date, or
No.
because I don't know, he went out and bought a set of golf clubs without you knowing. It was just like, no, okay.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And I really like acts of service.
Well, it show
We make
gratitude and stuff.
Yeah. And romance will mean different things to different people as well.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a lot about the act that they do or what they do.
What are some of the acts of service? I know what mine are, but there's a few of them, right?
Yeah. So
There's giving presents and stuff.
Oh, that's another. So one of the love language is acts of service, and that's doing something for somebody else.
Okay,
So-
without getting something in return.
That's right. So
Okay,
it's
got ya.
how you show love. So it could be he'll see me driving around like a lunatic on Saturdays, which you know.
Which you do.
Yep. I rack up my mileage on the weekends. Mm-hmm. And when he sort of sees that I do that, he'll offer and say, hey, how about if I drive one of your kids to X places?
So it's just about taking off some of the burden because he sees you struggling and just lends a helping hand.
And I
right?
think that that's really romantic.
Yeah.
Because it's really taking into consideration my mental load.
And how you're feeling.
Yeah. And meeting that need.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, we do have date nights.
Yeah. I think that's important. You've got to do that when you're in a relationship,
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes when people get all that comfortable in their relationship, etc., I think it is because they don't spend that time or take that time out to go on a 2-hour date. Just go out to the movies or dinner.
And it could be something very simple, like doing a nice walk together.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to spend money on this.
No,
you know what
and
I mean?
I think that's the biggest thing that people confuse romance, and they think, oh, he has to buy me something.
You know why? Because of shows like The Bachelor, when they have their dates
yes.
and stuff, and it's all
It's
elaborate.
grand. Yeah.
Got a helicopter coming down and taking you out and stuff.
Yeah, and abseiling across the SCG or something like that.
It gives people this, oh my God,
unrealistic expectation,
exactly.
right?
And you got to do this grandiose date in order for he or she to think that you're making an effort when it's not even that, is it?
It could be just cooking
Your favourite meal.
Yep, a nice favourite meal and having dinner together.
Or getting some Ben and Jerry's, just sitting there, that quality time that you have, right?
Yeah, and I do have to give him credit for a lot of things. He knows my favourite gelato ice cream.
See, that's nice. Yeah.
So just those little things I think are really just important in relationships because it shows that he's listening, accommodating.
Yeah.
I hope I'm doing the same thing.
But the thing is you say little things. They're not little things though, are they? Really?
No, they're not.
You-
Because
yeah.
and I think that's the biggest thing that people
Mistake?
yeah. And we do see it on dating apps or even talking to men like they might say, oh, she expects me to do all this stuff, or he expects me to do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just meeting sometimes the most basic, simple need for the other person and being able to compliment them on that.
And just make sure that you just don't take it for granted either. I think that's an important thing, because I always used to do something really nice. Like I would cook. So I love cooking. And
you love cooking.
I love cooking.
Yeah.
And one of my big things to show someone how much I care and how much I love them is to cook for them. Or crochet them something. That's my two big acts of service. Is like I crochet them something unique, because I'm a award-winning crocheter, don't you know? Yes. And also I'll cook them elaborate meals and stuff. So I'm a bit of a master chef.
That could be a new idea for your next date.
What, crochet
him
cooking?
A nice pair of shorts.
Have you seen some of these things online though?
Yes.
Some of these weirdo crochet short things.
But wouldn't it be cool just to see their reaction?
Just because we're like that way inclined and obviously a bit doolally in the head, it would probably be funny. So we can get Mr. Naomi KO to wear them, can't we, Naomi?
Well, if you're lucky, he might model it, and I'll take a photo and put it on Sydney Friends.
You heard it here first. But but you do bring up a very good point though. It is like, when you care for someone, you want to do good things for them, though, and you want to see them happy, right? You wouldn't want to go out of your way to irritate them. Otherwise, it would be like, that movie. I know we always reference movies here now, but like War of the Roses, where they do, they just try and niggle each other.
Oh,
right?
yes.
And just to annoy each other, and just to it got to the point where there was no love there anymore. So instead of showing and showing up for them and showing how much I care for them, it was a case of like, I'm going to do everything in my power to make their lives miserable.
Yes.
And you don't want to get into that point when you're in a relationship.
No, you don't. Like some ideas, picnics. Picnics are good. That's nice and simple.
Yeah. Can I just say, Coles do a really nice grazing platter.
Oh.
Apparently.
Not
that I know, I haven't been on a nice date like that before. So,
The other thing that I'd really like to do with my partner is actually go to the drive-in. We've talked about it a couple of times.
The movie?
Yeah, the drive-in at Blacktown.
See, like she was talking about the drive-in there, not Macca's, okay? All right, so the cinema. So I was just like, what?
No, not drive-through. Not drive-through. The drive-in up at Blacktown is a really nice venue.
Yeah. I haven't been there, no.
Yeah, I've got a ute.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for ute sponsors. But
oh, you ute, Ford, I don't even know what, like all the people that makes utes, okay?
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
But utes are really great for drive-ins because you can just sit on the back of the ute and...
bring a blow-up bed and stuff, sexy tans.
Maybe not. There's families there.
I'm living vicariously for you, so... But yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Yeah, just like simple things. For my birthday, he took me out to see Miss Saigon.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And then we had a nice Luke Nguyen tasting menu beforehand, and that was really, really nice.
Yeah.
Like that was a really nice night out, but that was a special night. Like we don't do that all the time.
And it's also taken into what you like. I mean, if you're going to do something nice like that, it's not just like, okay, say, for example, he likes going golfing, right? And to him, it's like, that's a nice thing. Yeah. I'm going to take it. It's something that I enjoy and I want to share it with my partner. I mean, how would you feel about that? Is it the thought that counts really? Or would you actually think, you know what, you didn't really take into consideration. I know I said I wanted a nice day with you, but this wasn't what I
had in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes presents can have double meanings.
Yeah.
Yeah, is the present really for you or for him?
I got you a lovely iron and washing machine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Or, if he got me nice lingerie, who's that benefiting?
Yeah, well, see, I love lingerie, right? So that would be like, I'll be happy with that.
I would be happy with that.
Or you're right.
Is that a present for him or a present for me? Right?
It's like there was this woman, she kept on complaining that her partner doesn't listen to her.
Right.
And she's definitely afraid of water, doesn't like cruises or anything, right? Yeah. So guess what he did for her 40th birthday?
A cruise.
Yeah, booked a 22-day cruise.
22 days?
Yeah, 22 days. So absolutely, probably a blubbering mess because she's definitely afraid of the water, right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't understand why she obviously went absolutely berserk at him giving her this cruise date, right, for 22 days, all around, halfway around the world. And he was just like, really? I'm taking you all the way around the world.
I'm spending all this money and you're so ungrateful.
Exactly right. And she dumped him. She was like, you just don't listen. I mean, you should know that they were together for 10 years. You'd think.
That's a significant amount of time.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's a case of like, he wanted to do this, and for
Whatever reason,
it's her birthday. I'll just say that, look, I'm taking you around, around the world. You're going to do it, even though she's petrified of water.
Yeah, that's uncool.
I mean, that's just terrible, right? Like,
Totally. No, my partner hasn't done that.
No, not yet.
That's why he's still around.
Yeah, exactly.
Lou's dating diary.
Welcome this week to the sequel 4842.
Guys, I can't stress it enough. Like, seriously, stop it. All right.
What are we stopping, Lou? What are we stopping? Tell us what to stop.
Look, Jesus. So obviously where everyone is loving the train wreck, dumpster fire, plane crash in a burning house, life, dating. My dating life, right? Okay. But you know what? One day I would just like to go on a date where it's,
It's normal.
It's normal. It's what it seems.
And it's expected.
And it's nice. It's just not, right? And like, so, pity me. But anyway, I'm doing it for your enjoyment, content, you name it.
So tell us what went wrong this week.
So look, I went out on a date and I had high hopes. We all had high hopes.
You did. You were excited. You texted me and you said, I'm excited.
Yeah, and listen.
You got along well online.
Yeah, and he listens to the show too.
Yep.
Right? So he knows.
Feedbacks.
Yeah, gives us feedback. So he knows my thoughts on truthful profiles, truthful, everything. Photos, you name it. Just be authentic and truthful,
and
right?
we talked about this, right?
Yes, and we have. Look, we've talked about it extensively. We're all in this dating arena because we want to find the right one, and you kind of embellishing the truth about who you are is not the dumb thing. So anyway, this date, there's a reason for this, but we're not going to go there. But I call him Benny Hill. He's funny. I mean, like some people would think Benny Hill is. I mean, it's like,
different era.
Yeah, different era.
Not politically correct.
No, I'm not a big fan.
Funny at the time.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Benny Hill, but
the biggest first impression. We need to know.
Biggest first impression that I had of Benny Hill was that he didn't look like his pictures at all.
Bom bom.
Yeah.
See, I'm even doing the sound effects.
Dun dun dun, bom bom. Yeah, he looked nothing like his photos. Which so I turned the corner. He said he was there. He was sitting in this particular area, and I was like, cool. And I was literally looking around trying to find him.
Yep.
And all the tables had groups of people in there, had couples already in there, and there was just one particular person.
Yep.
And I thought there's no way that can be him, right?
No, it doesn't look like his profile picture.
It doesn't look like his profile picture at all, right? Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to be physiquist, is that a word? But he didn't look like his pictures at all. He was like completely.
It wasn't an accurate representation.
No.
And we talked about this in previous episode, how important it was to have the pictures to match your current state.
Yes, exactly. And
because then it actually gives you the swipee.
Yeah, the swipee. Yeah.
The swipee, the opportunity to pick whether it is something that you are attracted to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. His height, I would say he was the same height as me, and he said he was around, 5'10". Look, I'm 5'2", okay, in flats, and I was I had heels on.
Did you grow?
No, I didn't grow. Yeah. So his height was all wrong, the physique was all wrong, and he looked about, no word of a lie, 15 years older than his photos.
It's the difference when you're sort of like taking a photo that you took last year.
Yeah, that's,
as opposed to now. But like,
I showed Naomi the photos of this particular person, and we all said, again, it's not because looks is not that important, right? It's not, but it's if you're going to advertise yourself that way, then that is what you expect to, get, right? It's like when you go to a restaurant and you look at the menu and you're like, oh, that fish dish looks lovely, and you order this beautiful sea bass platter, and then what comes along is like
some hairy
meat
octopus
thing. Yeah, no, actually, it's completely different, like a big roast or something, right?
Yeah.
Like a big beefy massive
send it back.
beef cheeky roast or something.
You'd send it back,
I would
right?
send it back. I didn't order this. Like, what's going on? This is like wrong meat for one start.
I wanted white meat.
Yeah, I wanted like my fish, right? So it's just completely different. So you can't just do that. So for me, I rock up and I'm super polite because Brits stiff upper lip and all that jazz, right? And not only that, he knows that we've got a podcast, and I thought, well, what do I do, right? Do I call him out? Do I,
Roadrunner?
do a Roadrunner? Do a Casper?
I couldn't ring up about the house on fire.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So that was out.
And I couldn't even use my house is on fire because he knows my excuses already. So he said, I'll go get some drinks. And I thought, okay, cool. So you guys can get some drinks. And I was on my phone just texting you guys.
Yes.
Texting the team going, guys, he isn't what he is, what he said he was. And even though I should know what I should do, guys, what should I do?
Yes. We did workshop this.
No, you didn't workshop. You guys were laughing at me, man.
Yes.
So anyway, right, and then so he comes back and we're just chatting and I'm trying to be really polite and stuff. He started talking about, maybe we should go to another place where there's dancing and stuff, and he wanted to talk about the podcast. And me, I was super reserved.
Was it because it just started off with essentially a lie?
Yeah, because I just looked at him and thought,
Right.
lies, yeah.
And so that just throws you off, doesn't it?
I was so irritated by it all.
Yeah, you
Right?
were.
And it was a case of like, now I've got to sit here and be nice and polite and stuff, which I did, which I was, and I did, and we had a drink, and as I said, we were talking about like obviously the podcast, and I even said during our conversation, what I do say on the podcast, I stand, I practice and I stand by it, including like people not looking like what they look in their photos.
Yes.
I didn't blatantly say that, that was him.
Do you think he had any self-awareness?
No, this is it. He didn't have any self-awareness. Genuinely.
Do you think you were getting punked?
Yeah, I thought somebody was going to come like jumping out from somewhere from behind me going, you've been framed, you know what I mean? Like,
And this is so disappointing, I guess, on so many different levels, isn't it? Because, like you said, it's like that advertised food on a menu.
it was pure comedy. It was just like, as I said, Benny Hill, right? It was just like literally pure comedy. And then they were like, oh, what does he look like and stuff? And I said, well, with the whole situation and everything, it's just like Benny Hill. And then everyone just started, It was just pure comedy. It was just like, I just thought to myself, this could only happen to me, right?
Oh, well, better luck next week.
What? Yeah, well, look, it can't go any worse than, and because I am who I am, and me being me, I thought to myself, okay, I can't just leave after he bought that drink. I have to buy a drink.
Yes.
I have to buy a round.
The polite thing to do.
Yeah, and to show that, look, I give as good as I'm not here just because you buy
For a free drink.
Yeah, for a free drink. So I bought another drink, and then he wanted to go somewhere else, and I was just like, no, thank you. I need to get home.
Yep.
Type thing. And then as soon as I got home, I was literally like, guys, what do I do? I know I can't ghost him, but part of me feels I'll be in the right to ghost him because he lied anyway, right? But then I thought, no, because I want to do the right thing, practice what I preach and stuff. And also I didn't want him to leave a bad review on our podcast. Oh, yeah.
We did discuss about this, about ghosting and the reasons behind it. And we never explored this side, which was...
Yeah, you're right, actually. Like,
we sort of like said, be nice, be
yeah.
the greater person, be the bigger person, and actually, give them a message and say, we didn't connect, whatever. But sometimes it is so shocking that the first instinct is that fight or flight, and a lot of people flight.
Yeah. I mean, look, for me, I just thought, okay, if you're going to disrespect me by completely lying, right, it's kind of like, you've lost that respect from me as well, because you can't, and
and it almost is.
Do I owe you anything?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, is it like ghosting could be an option, but you did the right thing.
Yeah,
you sent a
I
message.
did the right thing. Yeah, and he came back and said, because I said, look, obviously, whilst we were talking, there was a connection there because found you funny and stuff, but in person, it just wasn't for me. I did not feel anything. And he came back and said, yeah, no, I felt the same way. And I thought to myself, no shit, Sherlock, because I was just literally like, you know, and you're just
Sort of like on your best behaviour.
on your best behaviour, and you got your guard up. Because by that point I was just like, you know, so yeah, so like again.
So the date pretty much ended when it started?
Which was like what?
Microseconds into it?
Look, that date ended as soon as I was scanning that place, looking for him. And it sort of dawned on me that this person who was literally 15 years older than what he said he was and looked completely different from his photos. It's like the photos they used would have been like a younger brother or his son or something. That sounds awful, but it was. And the thing is, as I said, he listened to the podcast. All the people who I'm speaking to,
Yeah.
listen to the podcast, right?
So let's give everybody a take-home message.
Don't do it. Stop it. Stop just lying.
Make sure you've got the right age
Yeah, look.
and the most current picture on your profile.
Just a current picture, right age. Just say and be who you say you are, right?
Own who you are, really.
Yeah, own it. I mean, look, there's got to be somebody out there for you, right? Again, it's like alluding to what happened with Mr. B, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I have my parameters, right? I have what I'm looking for, and so does these guys, obviously.
So everybody else has got their own parameters. It's about matching those parameters.
Yeah.
And when you actually lie about your age, lie about your pictures or anything else in between, it changes those parameters and you're actually attracting the wrong people.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, you're starting the whole thing on lies, right? You know you are. It's like, I can't stress it enough. So, again, right, for the love of God, for the love of all things holy, right, stop it!
Question of the week.
So, Naomi,
Yes.
has dating apps killed the efforts we used to make when meeting a partner?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, you reckon?
I think so.
Yeah, I do.
Because I think what we need to do is we need to see dating apps for what they are. And I think
It's
many
a tool.
people. Yeah, it is a tool. It's another way to meet people.
Yeah. It's not the be all and end all, though.
That's right. And it is hard work. I guess I don't drink.
Yes.
And so for me to hang out at bars,
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah.
you know, it's tough. And back in my 20s, I met people socially. We went out together as groups.
Yeah.
I was at uni, so I met people at uni. There was a lot of opportunities.
There was more culture. Look, as I said, like I'm in my mid-40s and 45. When I was in my 20s and stuff, and like even 18 and that was one of the things you do on a Friday night and a Saturday night. So obviously in London,
You'd
come
go
get
out.
you, text all your mates and go, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're going
you have texting
out.
back then?
Okay, we would at school or whatever it is, right?
yeah, and
or
you sort
we'll
of-
get the phone. We would
yeah.
be on the phone, like that dial phone thing, right?
Yep.
And we would all kind of get together and say and coordinate what we're doing, like it's military position. Right, okay, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Shall we get ready at your house? And it was a night out. It was like you
And
would plan all this, and
That's
then
right.
you would go, you know, meet your mates and go out, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll meet.
Yeah, so friends at uni, we used to say, you know, meet at town hall steps.
yeah, you make a
And you
thing.
meet there at 8 o'clock and hopefully everybody turns up. But you didn't have mobile phones back then,
No,
right?
yeah.
Not as not as many.
No, you had brick.
Yeah,
You know those brick
That's right.
like,
You
phones.
just- and then you
Or
just
pager,
sort of
like blue-
said, yeah, let's
blue-
meet there at
that
8
blue.
o'clock, or, you know, I'll meet you at the club, blah, blah, blah. And that was a regular thing that you did on a Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
And you
Done
went
thing.
out with friends, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you met people and you got introduced to friends of friends and so forth.
Back home, we'd say, I don't know what you guys call it here, but we'd call it you go out on the pool. You know,
Oh, no.
you go out on the pool. So all you UK people listening to this podcast now, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Go out on the pool.
So, yeah, so we would always have friends and we'd get introduced to different groups that way.
Oh, okay, because usually when we go out, we'd be there, we our group of friends, and then there'd be all these other groups, and then you can see the guys in their groups, and then you'd be like all edging closer on the dance floor, and you're like, you know.
Yeah. So you meet in
Or
that
they get their
setting.
mate to do something to someone, right? In the
And, you know, when I did try to go out at bars and stuff like that, but it was just a different vibe in your 40s.
yeah, no, it is.
It's different vibes. You
Well, you got responsibilities and stuff, right? So you can't just do that whole thing, coordinate everyone and go like, on that night.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
You got to have weeks in advance, right?
And that's why we've got Sydney friends, right?
Yeah,
Anybody
exactly.
free? Let's all go out.
Yeah.
Even then, when you're going to the clubs and you're dancing and stuff like that, you're out. You've had a really stressful week. You just really want to jump around. The last thing that you actually want to do is actually meet somebody.
Look, when you go out, you are making more of an effort than on dating apps because you are getting ready, right?
Yep.
You're going to look your best, right? When you're on a dating app, you can do that anywhere, right? You could do that on the toilet. You could do that in bed. You could do that like whenever, right? Just swiping, right? You don't have to look a certain part, right? So that takes the thing out of it, okay?
Of effort, yeah.
Yeah, right. And then here's a story for you. When I met my first real long-term relationship, I was in a club in Camden, right? North London, Camden. It used to be called Camden Palace. It's now called Coco's. Awesome place, right? Anyway, so I was there. I was dancing with my group of friends, and there was a group of boys dancing. One of the guys came up, and no word of a lie, I say accidentally because later on I find out it was something completely different, accidentally kicks his leg so my friend trips over. Accidentally,
yeah.
Right? She trips over. They have a bit of an argument like and stuff, right? We're all like, both factions, the girls and the boys were like, oh, what? Sorry about this. What's going on? And trying to think it. One of the guys in the group comes up to me and goes, look, my friend, he's a bit of a klutz. Really sorry, that's what he does, but he means nothing by it. And he was so charming. He was Irish, so charming, so lovely. I was, and he goes, look, let's go buy them a drink.
Oh, that was his pickup line?
Man, he orchestrated the whole thing, right? He got his mate, Sasha, right? Yeah, I can say this because this is like freaking how many years ago, right?
Yeah.
He got his mate, Sasha,
to trip
my friend up.
So he could
chat me up.
That's creative.
That's effort, people.
That's proper effort. Imagine doing that.
Can you imagine doing that now? Seriously, he did all that. It only came out later. That's
quite
much
impressive.
Later. I know, right?
It's quite smooth.
And a caveat to this story is that the guy, Sasha, who tripped up my friend, they actually did end up dating as well.
No.
Yeah. They didn't last though, but me and this other guy did.
We're going to expect a whole heap of people tripping everybody over in the bar.
Shoving each other. It's like, sorry, it was no accident. And the guy sweeps in and goes, hello. See, this is what I mean. People used to like come up with like proper like plans.
Yeah.
Military position.
As opposed to right, left, right, right, left, right.
Exactly. It's too accessible. It's like, you remember fast food?
Yes.
Right, it's a bit like that now. This is fast food dating.
It is a little bit on dating apps, but from my point of view, I saw it as an opportunity to possibly be more efficient with the amount of people I was meeting.
Yeah, efficiency. Look, it does make you efficient because usually when you're out and about, you don't really talk to a shed load of people, right?
No, and it's the only common thing with somebody in a bar is...
You get to smell them.
The fact they're in the same bar as you.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You can smell them too. Yes.
Well,
have a sniff.
But you could also see their true authentic self. You know what they look like. You know how tall they are. You know, what they sound like and stuff.
Yep.
You know that's what they look like, okay?
Yeah.
And also, as I said, it's like a guy or girl would have to make that effort if they want to get to know someone to go up to them.
Yep.
Be brave and go up to them and say, hey, my friend just kicked your friend. or like, yeah, can I buy you a drink?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something there. You've got to do something.
There. Yeah.
Right?
Whereas dating apps don't allow that space.
No.
But it does allow you to possibly meet a whole heap of other people
really quickly
that you never would meet.
Yeah, I guess. But that's the whole thing about the profile, though. That's if they put a genuine, authentic
and that goes
profile.
back exactly. That goes back to our whole discussion.
Yeah.
Like it seems to be every week that we talk about it. About how important it is just to put the accurate details, because then it is up to the person who is swiping to make that decision where they actually want to meet you.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
As opposed to, and I think this is the trap that a lot of people fall into, why they end up lying about their pictures or their age and so forth, is that they want a type of person that to attract them.
Yeah. Well, again, it's like we said this before, didn't we? About saying that I like travelling and you don't.
Yeah. And you don't have a passport.
Yeah, or you just go to Newtown. It's like, I think for some people,
yep.
they do think that they're making an effort though, right? They're making an effort. And you know what? To be fair, they're making a massive effort in telling lies, right? Because they bring up this whole, they do write on that profile. And sometimes writing on that profile is quite tedious and quite like long and stuff.
Yeah.
But they put, they make up stuff. What we're trying to say is in terms of effort is, I think it makes it easier for people to mislead people.
Oh, totally. And that is highlighted with our scammers episode.
Yeah.
Is that, it is very easy to mislead people online. It also plays into the type of person that you want to be as opposed to the person that you are.
Yeah.
That reality check.
Again, the dating apps are great. I mean, because look, I'm time poor, obviously. We've got this podcast. I work full time. I've got mum. I'm like mother to 2 dogs, and
and human child.
And of course my beautiful human child. But at the end of the day, time poor. So yes, there is that great element for dating apps. You can do, as I said, alluded to earlier, you can do it wherever. You can do it on the bus, you can do it in the toilet, whatever. But the thing is, the effort has gone though. I do hark back to those days when people were tripping each other up to that, I mean, don't you? I mean, what do you think?
I really think that it is more accessible. People end up thinking, oh, okay, well, I can swipe 10 people.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a numbers game.
And also, I think people, once they do all that, I guess that's why people find it so easy to ghost people.
Oh, yeah, because
there's no...
If it doesn't work with one, I've got number 2. If it doesn't work with number 2, I'll go with number 3. And so it becomes a very disposable society.
Yeah, exactly. It's disposable, right? Because you haven't put in that...
that effort.
The effort. That if you're going to put in something, like say you've got a craft that you're doing, right, and you put in that effort, that craft or whatever it is, you're going to love and you're going to cherish and stuff, and you're going to respect it,
and you're going to work at it a little bit more as well. So
and you're going to respect it. If you don't put in any effort in something, it's easy for you to feel, you know what, I don't really care about it. And I think that's part of the problem why there is a lot of disconnection, a lot of ghosting, because people haven't put in enough effort where they actually end up feeling anything about that person that they're about to ghost, breadcrumb or whatever.
So on the flip side, if we don't have apps,
what do we have?
Oh,
yeah, that's a very good question. Well, we got the speed dating. Yeah,
I've tried those speed datings.
I've done speed dating as well.
It hasn't, in those type of artificial environment, they didn't really take into consideration what our interests were to even do the speed dating, and it became sort of like, here's a group of men, here's a group of women. The only thing that was different or that was similar was the age range.
Yeah.
And more often than not, a lot of these events, we end up with probably a 3 to 5 ratio of men to women. So there's always more women than men.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, there always is. And I think what they try to do is, get that balance, meeting in the bar, getting the group of girls, group of guys. I think there's just a disconnect there with the speed dating and stuff. And again, you don't really get to speak as quick as,
Yeah, what
longer.
Can you find out in 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's not even 5 minutes. Sometimes it's like a minute. All right, you're sitting there for a minute and then ring the bell.
Yeah.
And but when you're out and about, it's authentic, right? You can spend as much time with that person talking. So again, they haven't found that right balance there. Yeah. What do I think needs to be done? I think it's down to us as people. I think we need to get back to going out a bit more and having the front to talk to people that you like in the bar and potentially getting back that bravery that you had as a 20-year-old, like when you saw that girl or that boy and you're like,
ooh, he's hot.
Yeah, he's hot. Hi Naomi, go speak to him, go tell him that. How you get your wingman.
Or my friend over there likes your friend.
Yeah, exactly. Remember all that stuff?
Yeah.
It works.
It does work.
It does work. Or failing that,
but we tend to lose that as we get older.
But why?
I don't know.
See, this is the thing. Like, why have we lost that when it shows that it worked, right?
Yeah.
But is it because we think, oh, we're adults now, we don't need to do any of that stuff?
Yeah,
but,
it's immature.
It ain't though. But some couples that I know who did all that are still together, right? And obviously, I think the ratio of successful dates and relationships that have come either from dating sites in a verse to somebody like your mate going, she likes him, or tripping someone up, like, and then talking to their mate.
Go over there, talk to her.
I think there's more chances of that lasting. No, because you're putting that effort in.
Don't say that. I met my partner on Hinge.
Yeah, but
remember?
you're different. He's like a double taekwondo jiu-jitsu person, like
The superhero.
he's like, yeah, exactly. Like, I think you're fine.
Star-crossed lovers.
We're going to finish off the water signs, and we're going to give you an overview of them all.
I'm interested to find out.
Yeah, you've got a couple of water signs in your life, haven't you? You've got your son and you've got your Mr. Naomi KO.
Yeah, my
Did that help last week?
It did. His mum actually contacted me and
said it's all lies.
No, she said it was really good. It was true. Too.
I have a gift.
You do have a gift. She did say that Cancerians and Librans work well together.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. All right, see? I might buy a hat. Not for our perfect match couples, but, Okay, so our water signs.
Yes.
Again, they are the most sensitive signs of the zodiac. They do take a lot of coaxing out of, in the Cancerians' case, the shell. In a Scorpio's case, the shell. In a Pisces' case, like those waters that he feels, that he or she feels like comforting.
Yep.
Again, they're very arty. They're very family orientated. Most of them are. Okay.
Yep.
The quirkiest one out of them would be Pisces. They're the most quirkiest. They're the more arty, quirky. That's why they would suit a Libran really, really well.
Right.
Because Librans are quite quirky, arty. All that stuff. Musically inclined. They out of those three, and if you're going to, if as a Libran, if you're going to go somewhere else, or as a Piscean, if you're going to look outside of that whole water situation, go with a Libran. So obviously there's some quite famous Piscean men. One that I alluded to previously was Kurt Cobain.
Okay.
Is there any famous Scorpions or Cancerians?
Scorpion. Oh, actually, can I say two?
Okay, go on. As I do.
Ryan Gosling.
What, for Scorpio?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like Ryan
And
Gosling.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, hello to them too.
Hello.
Ooh, okay, right, okay. And what about Cancerian? Tom Hanks, right?
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Yes.
Yeah, see, look, Tom Hanks is following me around. He's like my alter ego, isn't he? He's like, I think all the men in the water signs seem to do better than what we had in Gemini.
Perfect match.
Welcome to today's couple.
Hello.
We've got Belinda and Greg.
Hi.
Hi. I know it's awkward as hell, and but thank you so much for partaking in our perfect match. And I guess we'll start off with first impressions.
Who goes first?
Yeah, don't go at once.
Yeah, don't rush.
Not bad. Good looking. Tall. I like tall guys. So.
Hey, you're quite tall yourself, though, as well, right?
Yes.
You're like one of those rare species, Greg. Everybody looks for tall
what?
men.
Yeah. If that's the only virtue, I don't have much else to live up to. Do I?
Sorry, that's one of my preferences. Yeah.
And Greg, what was your first impression?
Quite natural looking, minimal makeup, which is a good thing in my books. Genuine, not putting on a facade. Yeah, it's my thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Okay, that's lovely.
We did have to pop out a couple of times and sort of like get you moving along and ordering food.
There was a lot of chat.
You finally got around to ordering the food at Bella Vista. And again, thanks to Bella Vista Hotel for sponsoring our dates.
It was lovely.
Yes.
Good meal.
It was great.
Ooh, nice.
And I have my leftovers.
It was that good.
Look, I still have
Those
my
big
nachos
servings.
from about 700 weeks ago. So,
Should still be all right.
The servings are very generous and the food's very, very nice. Have you guys been on a blind date before?
Never.
Never?
I might have, but I can't remember.
It must have been that good.
yeah, exactly. It's like I did, but you know what? I exercised it from my
that's right.
memory and stuff.
So, Louise, can you shed some light on why you matched
Why I
these
matched
guys?
Greg and Belinda? Well, okay, as I keep saying on these segments, Naomi, humours me quite a bit with this podcast.
Greg's laughing. Do you remember what
Yeah,
he
oh my God, Greg, yeah. So Greg, this is just a side note, right? With Greg, filled out the form and stuff, and he wrote on there, bullshit. then so I had to message Greg. Look, I hadn't met Greg before, right? Not even in any of the other events. So I messaged Greg and I said, I'm really sorry, but bullshit, it's not a star sign. And I said, so tell me your star sign. And so he texted back and said Taurus. And then, so anyway.
Oh, Taurus, I have dated a Taurus.
By 50 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, he was actually, he was my first one. My first boyfriend.
What, Greg?
No.
So Greg is a Taurus after we went round the houses to get that out of him. Belinda is a Cancer, and obviously we spoke about Cancerians last week, and Mr. Naomi KO is also a Cancer.
Yes.
So we spoke about Cancerians last week, and basically the reason why I matched you two together is Greg being a Taurus and also on the cusp. Stresses that. Apparently, Taurians are very grounded. They love food. They're very family orientated. Like Cancerians, they love their mothers. They're very big.
I can say, you can say that. Yeah.
They're very big on that. You know, they will try. Like for example, if there's a show on and they're the main part, they'd want their mum to sit right in the front and go have that adulation and stuff. I know this because my son's a. Adulation?
Validation.
Validation? Adulation?
Oh, no.
And I know this because my son's a Taurian, right? And he's very loving, very, very cute, very cuddly, very, very loving. A Cancerian is also very, very loving under that hard exterior shell. They're very sensitive. They're a bit kind of shy in regards to, trying something new. So having that grounded kind of Taurian with a Cancerian generally makes a nice match. They bring out the best in each other. So I think they're like, but in other news, you also like beach holidays, all right? Okay.
Of course.
And today you win a trip to
The Northern Beaches. Hey.
Great, 'cause my sister lives on there.
The other question would be, the big question why we're all here, will you see each other again?
Possibly.
Greg, would you see each other again?
Possibly.
Oh, okay, there you go. Right, okay. That was a big pause there.
he was fixing our mic.
I'm so glad that you both took the plunge in doing this, and hope you enjoyed your time. I mean, what would you say to people in order to do this? Like, would you recommend it, or would you say hell no?
No, I recommend and just be yourself.
Yep.
I think that's always
How
important.
about you, Greg? Any
Absolutely.
words of advice for any male listeners out there who...
Greg, words of wisdom.
Don't hold back. It's okay to tell people who you really are.
Yep.
You don't have to be like the strong, infallible
Yep.
type. You can open up,
Yep. Be vulnerable.
show who you are.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think that's one of the reasons why we did this segment. I mean, obviously, we got Sydney Friends. We do have the new Facebook group for What They Said as well. And we're just trying to get everyone out of their comfort zone, aren't we?
Yeah, pushing them a little bit at a time. Drag them.
That's what this group has done for me. Pushed me out of my comfort zone because I'm naturally introverted.
Yeah?
And I think there's a lot of introverts in this group.
Yeah.
There is. It's like I keep saying, I'm a bit of an introvert as well.
Gosh.
Well, Naomi, that was another
Sensational episode.
Oh, not chockers then.
No, I've been reading up on why thesaurus.
Next week is also going to be another massive episode. Naomi, you'll be talking about when to have the exclusivity talk in Wifey Lifey.
That's right, and you'll be sharing more of your dating stories on Lou's Dating Diary, as well as giving our listeners some tips on what to do in their first interactions online.
And in question of the week, we're going to be asking the big question, are our dating expectations realistic?
We'll be burning down this series with a start on our fire signs with Aries.
And we'll be meeting another perfect match couple. And we'll find out what went down on their date. All that and more next week's show.
See you next week.
Bye. Hopefully my dating life will be better.